Good morning, Martin in the Philippines, and we're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So just got up, and let's get to the challenge of the day. Let's start the day right. So, challenge of the day, relationship. So this is a pretty good challenge of the day or topic because I'm gonna share some realizations I've had, and it came from conversations just very recent. So, challenge of the day, relationship. So this is a very good topic or challenge because many people think relationship is just for romantic, that context. I've found in my personal experience that this can even apply to family, to work, to even friendships. So some of you might find this helpful, the topic and the tips or suggestions, ideas you might get out of this. So let's get to it. Challenge of the day, relationship. One thing I would ask this person going through the challenge is, what about the relationship is the problem or the challenge? Now, to be fair, because this is a live and it's just me and the viewers are watching the replay, I could share just based on my personal experience. So maybe you could use it, maybe it might not be applicable for you. So feel free to just make use of it if you can. So one of the biggest things I've found as a problem or challenge when it comes to relationship is attachment. So let me define or explain what I mean by that. Attachment could come in the form of something when the person feels needy. It's like I need something from this person. So if I don't get it, then I'm gonna feel bad. If it doesn't go my way, then I'm gonna go crazy. So another term for attachment or like needy is the word addiction. So a lot of people, they actually don't have awareness, including me back then. When someone falls in love or they're in a relationship, they just feel whatever. They just say, "Oh, I do crazy things because I'm in a relationship or I love this person." So attachment is like one of the root uh, problems or challenges I noticed based on my personal experience when it comes to relationships. So I'm going to share with you three quick tips on something that helped me along the way from what I learned from my mentors. So, number one, the first thing that I would suggest is this thing I learned back in June 2019 from a mentor, Alex Mandoshan. So, I went to a seminar all the way in Malaysia and I learned this epiphany realization. So, the lesson was called high intention, low attachment. So, what does this mean? High intention, low attachment. Another way I would say is this called uh, Jim Rohn, another mentor I look up to. He calls this enlightened self interest. So, it's when you do something that is not just good for you, but it's also good for the other person. And then a seminar I took recently by Tony Robbins, he kind of defines this as like the true love or like the highest level of love. Because high intention, low attachment means like I'm gonna do what is good for the other person. Low attachment means if it goes my way, all right, I appreciate it. If it does not go my way, I'm still okay. I can appreciate it. I could respect that other person's decision or choice. So the second suggestion that I learned along the way would be detachment. So notice some people maybe have friends, some people or yourself after a really bad breakup from a relationship. Again, whether it's romantic, family, like the loss of a family member, a really good friend, a loved one. Detachment is for some reason that person is okay after a short period of time. Now, this is not bad because, yes, there is a grieving process or a separation process, but some people get to process it fast, which I believe is a good thing. So, and you do it in your right time. So, why is detachment actually good? Because here in the Philippines, the culture is like forever and a lot of bullshit that actually encourages attachment in a bad way. So, why is detachment good? So, I learned this again. It was T. Harv Eker who, one of my mentors, who pointed this out. Buddha has a saying that goes, the root of suffering is attachment. And then that hit me. Because attachment is not letting go. When it would have been really good or healthy to actually let go, to finally move forward. Again, it's not just in a romantic context. It could be a family member, it could be work, it could be a friendship. The third suggestion, third tip, is, and I learned this from my recent conversation, it was a realization. When it comes to relationship and attachment, is replace the old addiction with a new one. So, why do I say it that way? Addiction is because sometimes that relationship, love, whatever you want to call it, it really feels like a drug and it's driving you crazy. Like almost every day, you can't even function properly. That's why I call it an addiction. Now, when I say addiction here, replace the old addiction with a new one. Another word you can use is dream. Because when I was in love back then, that was one of my dreams. But now the dream is over. So what can I do? Meaning the dream has already been fulfilled. That's a more constructive way I would say it. You know, if you did everything you could, you fulfilled your dream. Even though it may not look like it went your way. So maybe it's time for the next one. What is the next dream? Another word for that I would share is also like, what is the next vision that you have? Maybe it's a purpose, maybe it's a mission. So, what is the next dream for me now? And then spend my time being addicted to that. So, some other people, they have their own terms for that. You know, C.T. Fletcher, like, he calls that like a magnificent obsession. And I mean that in a good way. So I'm gonna spend all my waking time on that now. Because maybe it's time for something bigger, something greater. So I hope that helped, those three quick tips. Last thing I can say is comment deep dive down below for those people who maybe your challenge, you know, we got a little deep in this, but you want it a little more personal. You want to share your side. And then I'm going to listen first. And then maybe that's all you want. But if you want to take it to the next level, you're open to feedback. We can share ideas, just like this. And then maybe that would help you break through that challenge that you're stuck in. So comment deep dive below if you want that one-on-one. It's going to be safe over Zoom. So thank you. I love you. And I will see you next time.